Alright everyone, this is Matt again, and today is Tuesday, August 12th, and I want to go over a list of gaps. Plenty of gaps here to take a look at, and what I'm using is TC2000, one of my charting platforms that I use for the videos. I also can set up some great watch lists in here and manipulate these percents or volume, whatever I want to do, make sure it's optionable, whatever the case may be, but getting right into it. The percent change itself, if you just click it, it'll change it all around. We're going to go to the bottom after we do the top. So let's look at the top movers today. So we got a CXDC. The gap on this one is right here, so it's another 33 cents. Pulled back down inside the Bollinger Band. I'm going to keep all the indicators nice and small too, just the relative strength index and the Bollinger Band. You guys can play with everything else whenever you want. But so CXDC, sorry, relative strength index is at 56 and moved up and then pulled back down inside. MTZ, we went over that one in the video, but we have the downtrend line right here and we have the gap right here at 36. So that one's looking really good. POWR, we've been talking about this one now. Now we're in stage 4, doing really well here. So look for this bottom to be in place and then continue to the upside. So the initial entry for this was right around 5, I think. Nope, 6 and change. And now we're on stage 3. And it's doing really well. So look for this to either pop and go or just pull back a little bit here to 1025. This will act as support before the next move higher. Sprint has a nice little gap too and has a little bounce going on right now from that sell the other day. So keep an eye on 716 for the gap fill area to be taken care of. There's some up here too, but we're not going to worry about those just yet. I'm going to try and just stay with the immediate ones. Let's look at BCOV. BCOV I know we've spoken about in the past also, but you get a double bottom low here, then we have higher low over here. Now it's starting to get a little bit jiggy, so could get up here to this $10 first gap close. Just keep an eye on this one. Relative strength index is very oversold. VOLC, this one here, very oversold, has a nice little move to take place. To come up here to this 1576 area. If this is the bottom here, then you could probably start taking a position and go for the ride. It'll eventually get there. RCII. RCII is doing really well. It has this bottom hammer here, and then it's just starting to march right up to the upside. Look for this one to get up to this 29 in a pretty good clip also, unless there's something else that's going to get in the way, news related or whatever the case may be. But this one's been butchered for quite some time, and this could be the bottom to come up and close this gap like it did over here. Okay, so it took a dump, slowly came back up, and if you notice it was close enough. Close to fill that gap. So it was a nice move. Look for this to do it again, wash, rinse, repeat, and then drop down again, whatever the case may be. So BWLD, we like this one. Has a nice little gap. If this is the bottom, hammer here, then we're going to continue to the upside, 164. So look for this one to get going to the upside. Relative strength index is at 30.14. So it's nice and low and needs to move to the upside. LF, we're going to take a look at next. Several bottoms here. Accumulation's going really well. Came down a little bit lower than this candle here. I don't like that. As long as this holds this candle, you're fine. But look for the first gap here at 718, and a relative strength index is at 26. MTW is going to be next. Slow drift to the upside. All it needs is a volume, and she's going to go kaboom to 29. So keep an eye on this one. This one could be an easy one here. Also, there's lower gaps on this that need to get filled. So let the top fill first, and then you might as well just buy puts because it's going to reverse back down to the other side. All right, SWFT is the next one we're going to take a look at. This one here, again, not ready yet, but could be close. 25.58 is your gap fill. Will take some time to get up there. That's the other thing you want to look at these, how fast they move, but your relative strength index is really bad here with 8. So keep an eye on that one. Amazon, we already went over that one, and we'll keep going over it, but the gap's up here at 358. WAG we're going to move on to next. This one looks really, really good. I like this one here to easy get to 66. Relative strength index is very low at 30, but slowly leveled off and starting to move to the upside. So look for this gap to get filled at 66 and then resume back down to the downside. HGR. No big volume. Definitely sold off. Big drop. You got two big gaps right here. Look for this one here, 29.76 first. You could probably get stock in these and hold them for a long time on these lower priced ones instead of trying to play the options and managing your time frames. If you have any questions, just ask Ray and I in chat. We'll do our best to help you out. First gap close here, CTSH, is going to be at 49.61. Looks good here with this massive sell candle here. So look for another $5 to the upside on this one. This was just going to crank to the upside pretty quick, I think. They did the split here. All gaps get filled. Do I think it's going to go up there? Yes, I do think it's going to come back up here at some point. It just happens. It always happens, and it will happen. So right now we're at a consolidation, but let's get back up into this area here. And once we get back inside this box, we'll worry about the next move after that. But right now, you're nice and low and sitting here. PWE. Same thing, beautiful gap here up to $9.10. Nice stock purchase also, 720 up to 9. Good ride here, PWE. So keep an eye on this one. Slowly starting to go. WEE, you know how I feel about this one. We've been playing this for quite some time, doing really well, 400 and something percent on the first time. All we're doing right now is stage 2 consolidation. You have your bottom in place, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would not hesitate to get into this again right here and then go for the next ride higher. We do have the first gap that's going to be filled. It's going to be 1855. So with these bottoms in place here, look for this one to start moving again very, very soon, probably within the next few days. Like I said, after this big move, just needs a couple days to consolidate, and after it's done consolidating, we're going to start the next stage on this puppy. So the puppy is off to the races. So, that's stage 1 there, and I don't have my stuff out, but anyway, here's stage 2 going on right now, or actually starting stage 3. So we'll see what happens here with WWE. Do I think it eventually gets up to the rooftop over here at 30? I do, but one step at a time. Let's trade this puppy to make some money. We're going to look at RKUS here. This one is flat on the day, but I do want to take a look at it because it has this gap up here. And it's almost ready to get up there. So you could see how it's been trending beautifully after it's come off the bottom here, and it's just going up and up and up and up. So expect this gap to get filled and then for this to reverse to the downside. I wouldn't be jumping in this just yet. I'd be looking probably around 1231, maybe even at this gap fill 1161. So if you have this program, you could set an alert for RKUS. Whoops. You can set a price alert for RKUS. You could set it for, what price were we at there, roughly? We were at 1163. So 1163, boom. And for the days, all my settings are already all set. And this is going to be for a buy long for gap. Alright, so when it gets to that price, I'll get an email, I'll get a pop-up, I'll get all kinds of stuff to alert me on that. So it's good to have this stuff set up so you know. LGF did that for us, and unfortunately I didn't buy it. Next day it was up 5%. Pretty cool. But anyway, here we are with MMSI. This is another one that's flat on the day today, but nice accumulation going on. Has a nice little gap here at 14.75, somewhere in that area. So this could get going pretty quickly here. So keep an eye on it. I got a triple bottom in place right now. If it does come a little bit lower, this candle is going to be a support. So relative strength index is at 9, so it needs a little bit of work. So what I want to do now, as you can see, all I did was go over everything that was on the upside. Okay, what's good about this here now is I'm going to reverse the percents. Let me get back up here. And Galt was down the most today, 9%. Then you got FF, 6%. And we're going to look at these, okay? We're going to look at the first set. And the reason you want to look at these is if they're going to pin a bottom or a double bottom or a triple bottom, then these are no-brainers to pick something up and trade them. So let's take a look at Galt real quick here. Now Galt has made, we know there's an upper gap that needs to get done. We've been watching this one for quite some time, but now it's getting pounded over here. So where's the bottom on this? All right, so looking at this here, and it's very oversold. I see a little gap right here. You see this little gap right here? So 362, if you would like something like this, 362 would be a purchase on this one, in my opinion. Okay, so wait for the 362, set your alert, and keep an eye on it, because I don't think it'll get down to the 186. I do think it'll get back down to this gap fill. So now I know what that area for that one is. But I don't play anything that priced, so for me that does nothing for me. So the support here was actually broken on FF. Now there's one thing we want to take note of right here is, whoops, let me zoom this over here. You got a nice little gap right here, and this is a pretty solid bottom right here. So I would expect this to hold. All right, next time it comes down here. If this holds, then we could come back to the upside and get the 15. So you want to catch these on the way down also. If you can get them at their lows, then you're going to get 9, 10, 12% to the upside easy. So plan that out accordingly. So that's why I want to take a look at these. RBCN is the next one here. Now this one gapped down again and has support down here at 459. I wouldn't be a buyer of this one just yet. I'd wait for one more confirmation that it's going to hold above this wick. If it holds above this wick right here at 554, then I would say yes and try and get this 747 scalp out of it. All right, so keep an eye on that one. TBBK, this one here, we have some beautiful gaps on the upside. We've been speaking about this one for quite some time. There's another gap right here at 1089, but it has just made another low, which is uncool. This one I'm going to have to pull out a little bit more here and see if I can find out. All right, so I moved it down to the monthly so I can know now where the TBBK bottom is going to be, and I would say it's going to be these four right here. And it's going to be very oversold on your monthly also, so it should get a little reverse to the upside. So, from 20 to 860, it moved, $12, $11.40, okay, and it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So use your monthly to plan time frames on how long these things are going to move for. So you can see down here it had a hellacious move to the downside, trickled all the way up to the upside. All right, made a higher low. So plan it out on this next one now. Okay, so you already have your trend in place. Draw your line on your next move to the upside. Plan to come into the 15 area. Okay, so draw your lines and make sure you know what you're seeing and you're trading accordingly. But the bottom's not in yet, and it's getting close, and we know that. So keep an eye on TBBK for the bottom. All right, so that's TBBK. Let's look at ACRX. This one's all over the board. ACRX has made another low too. It surpassed this. Nope, it didn't. Okay, so it's going to use this wick here as support, so hopefully. And if it does, look for this one to get going to the upside for a nice little bounce. And you have a nice gap fill up here at 11, right around $11. So keep an eye on ACRX for that. AMCC, same thing. Whoops. Let's get this out of here. All this stuff popping up. AMCC, relative strength index is right around 19. There's plenty of room for the upside. Again, if this triple bottom holds, 1, 2, 3, then you can expect to move to the upside to catch a little bounce in this one. TLYS. TLYS also has some big upper gaps that need to get filled, okay, but it just keeps trickling down to the downside. So our first gap is going to be here. Look for the support to be here. You can add the 20-day moving average in here, and you can catch the middle, but this really doesn't trade that much, so it's nothing exciting. GPOR we're going to look at. GPOR is heading lower. You can buy this bottom right here at 51, so go ahead and do that, and it's going to pop back up to the 55. We've got plenty of gaps over here for that one. Groupon is another one. Groupon is coming in with more bottoms again over here. If it holds the 569, definite buy, and then ride it up to the 679. It's an easy flip right there. We also have bigger gaps up here if somebody buys the company or if they start doing something correct. GMED is another one here. This one has been butchered, but look for this to come down to this hammer and use the hammer as your support because it's under these two candles right here, but it's still oversold. So PIR is another one. PIR has just been brutalized from 25 down here, and it is going lower here. HLIT, another one. Just grab the bottoms, ride them up to the top when you can. $7 gap on this. So set your alerts. Keep an eye on those. So here are some of your. All right, we'll look at two more. KKD took a dip today after a big move to the upside. I don't think it's going to come back and fill that. I would actually run this across, and you can see how it's holding this whole formation. But if it does come back down, it'll fill this gap 1570 and then start heading to the upside. But it's in some good stage here on that last move. LL will be the last one. LL is beautiful consolidation here. Lumber Liquidator might go lower. I'm not sure yet. It's really trying to hold this here. And if it does hold and consolidation works okay, then we can start moving to the upside. But I do think we're going to go a little bit lower on this one. So keep an eye on. All right. That's enough of these. But we'll go over these. Like tomorrow, the green ones will be different. And But I recommend everybody having certain things, tools in your tool chest to make sure you're paying attention to this stuff and setting these alerts. All right, this is Matt. Have yourself a great night, everyone. We'll see you in chat tomorrow.